ahead then, and I think the other thing I'll mention is that the Yugoloth was known to be created to be a guardian, and that he would be protecting something significant beyond treasure, beyond just gold and everything else. But what he has amassed, or it has amassed in its nest that you have been able to discover, is a very hefty sum of coinage that seems to be ancient in nature for the most part, and nothing that's in modern circulation that you've seen, but it certainly has value.
Yeah,
So
that was the other thing too. The gold coins appeared to be of the era of Myth Nantar, is what Baden said.
right.
Baden and Kurza.
Yep. All right, so we'll pick up here back on they're calling this the first floor, the ground floor being the actual first floor. I don't know why they did that, but this is where you left off in this general area. So we'll pick up here, guys, and leave it to you to decide what your next course of action is after slaying this atrocity of a beast.
It came out of 7C, so we should probably go across the hall and see what it was doing over there.
Before we start moving, I'm at 15 out of 39.
Yeah, you guys should be able to see each other's health bars there, I think, for each other
20,
too.
20 out of 30.
Oh, that's helpful. Yeah, I tell Gregor to give potion I gave him
to Griff.
I have one potion. Yeah.
Let me look and see how many doses.
I have one potion with 3 doses.
You should keep one on hand. That one had 2 left.
What are you at, Mithra? You're at half too, right?
Currently.
Yeah, you're worse than me. I just leveled, so I got 5 hit points.
It looks like it's, Griff and Amithra and Nod are at the halfway point. You don't see Nod there?
I don't see Sahur, or I'm sorry, I don't see Tim either.
I don't see Nod.
Oh.
Here, I'm just going to peek in here. Maybe you're...
Nope. There you go.
There he is. Okay.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I was in that room.
There could be another one.
You guys want any of us clerics to use up some spell slots for healing and save the pots, or you're doing it the other way around?
I could use a heal.
I still have a full potion of healing.
How many heals do you got?
We're getting pushed to talk, damn it. I have 4 first level spell slots. I used a second and a third encounter.
He can always pray to refresh those, but we'll lose our potions. Let's maybe use spells for sweet.
I think so.
All right. Maybe hit us each once. See how we do.
All right, I'm gonna go Nod. That's for you.
I appreciate it.
Oh, we don't know who that was for because I think he's pushed to talk, let go or something. Who was that?
I think you said Nod.
The first one was for me.
Sorry, I said Griff.
Griff, okay.
Okay, so I get 4.
Yes, sir. And Mithra?
Yes.
Let's do the biggest one. It was almost an 8.
Awesome. Thank you, though. Every little helps.
One more slot. You want to save that? You can use it now or save it for the reserve.
So, Mithra, you're at what?
21. I'm going to drink 1 dose at I'm carrying, and I think we'll just leave Gregor with the potion to help whoever falls.
And I have 2 potions in mind, so if someone uses one up, I'll think we have a spare. I have a spare I can give away.
The other question at hand was that there are piles of gold and other coins that lay strewn about this room. We made the decision that we're going to look at this a little bit more loosely than by the book in terms of weight. We're going to equate 50 coins per pound, and instead of 10 as by the book dictates. But there, and although I'm not going to get down to micromanaging encumbrance, I think it still needs to be discussed in terms of how you're going to try to transport gold, because there was some talk of that at the end of last session, that you were going to fill a bag here or fill a bag there, and we should definitely make sure that we have understanding on that. What's the plan for picking up coins? Is each person just picking some up randomly and we're going to minus that from the horde, or you have a bigger plan in mind?
I
We
had
already
thoughts
did.
to go down and get one or a couple of those shell chests that we had found earlier, to fill them up with some of the gold and even somehow fashion rope and these chests to, like, I had a greater idea in mind. I'm going to try to use these chests, my cloak, the rope, and everything, and start trying to fashion a new disguise up, because my current one is now
Cinch.
gone. Yep.
I only picked up 50 gold, just a handful.
Yeah, and
All right.
personally, I did as well. Or
So what's
So we're
the
down to 24,900. My thought was, let's leave it here for now, and then clear this, check out the rest of this level, and then we can come back, like Nod said, go get the chests and the 2 sailors, either have them hole up here or move it back down to the barracks on the first floor.
Yeah, I just leave it where it is.
You guys want to grab like 100
yeah,
or whatever?
you guys are welcome to grab some then if you want.
I would say, how much realistically would you allow me to stuff in a bag, a large sack? Because Nod is the greedy sort. He wouldn't just leave it here.
Yeah, so a large bag is gonna hold, I don't know, 50 pounds, 100 pounds. You could probably fit 5,000 into a large sack. It'd have to be pretty good quality, right, to carry that volume.
Yes, yeah. And I'm even thinking I can even double bag it in my backpack, essentially.
I would say that first of all, you're extremely huge and strong, and your encumbrance isn't going to be much of an issue for you, but it's more just the logistics of fitting it into and getting the volume into a large bag. Let's say that you could fit on your person, and again, this would be 100 pounds, is you could carry 5,000 gold. And that's just between all of your containers and filling every pocket kind of thing, which will add 100 pounds to your encumbrance. Yeah.
I will do that now.
Again, that's not much of a problem for you.
Yeah.
Taking 5,000?
Yeah, he's going to take 5,000 out. I
don't know what you're talking about. Money?
It'd be pretty easy. I think it'd be noticeable at this point if you continue to fill a large bag. It would be. All right. I think it would be observed at least. And again, it's not that big of a problem if unless the other group wants, the rest of the group wants to say anything to Nod about that. I'll say this as well, and this is just more my thinking on it for Nod, is that this would have an impact to your move silently when you're carrying all of this. So we'll definitely have a modifier to your move silently checks going forward if you do have that bag on you. But
good DMing.
All right, so
we
got 20,000 worth of coins left in the room. If you guys want to grab like 100 each just to have on you, it's up to you. Let me know and I'll take it off party treasure.
Did you already note that I said Save Arnon already took 100?
No, I will do that right now.
I would push for the idea that Sir Gregor is probably owed wages, and he would be more than willing to carry some of this gold. If you wanted to saddle him with a little bit of the gold, it's possible as well.
What about our sailors?
The sailors are downstairs, and I'm sure, again, if you put the gold near them, they would guard it with their lives.
Our friendly NPCs, they might want some for their pockets.
Yeah, they're following you all. They're
19,900 in this. Who else is taking some?
Take an additional 50.
All right. So how much did you take total?
100.
Does someone?
Yeah,
19,008.
Go ahead, Molly.
I'll take another 50, and I don't know. Let's Gregor if it all right with everyone. That's a lot, but I haven't forever.
I can't carry all that much.
I'm gonna look at Nod and I'm gonna say, basically, I understand on through after seeing this construct and now seeing who you really are, that must have gone through quite a bit of bad things while you were here. I don't have a problem, and I'll look at the party, you taking this, as long as it's not going to affect our ability going forward to get through the other tests that we're going to have to go through to get out of here. Gold isn't going anywhere.
Hi, that's where you're wrong. It's coming with me, friend.
Yeah, I don't want to leave this behind, but what Griff is saying is we don't know what we're going to face yet.
And I can't carry much anyway.
Baden might
All right.
also chime in on Seharn's suggestion that the pirates be made aware of the bounty that has befallen you, and that perhaps you can combine that with Nod's idea of filling the chests that you have with any of the remaining gold, and having at least getting the pirates involved to help load and carry and store that for you all, since sounds like you're planning to come back for it. So if that's something that the
Yes,
party wants to
that
do,
was our plan.
okay, then
Yeah, bring the chests up and
Do this now?
let them put everything in the chests while we move on.
right, that's what I was
Okay.
getting at, is tasking them.
Sure, we can do that now.
Tasking them with this, because they're
I was just thinking, we don't know what else is up here, but that's okay. If we want to go get him, bring him up here with the chests, load up the chests, either hole up in this room or they can go back down to the barracks. What do you guys think?
I think we should check out the other room first.
Before
we
do
haven't.
any of that.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
agree with you there.
That's what I'm thinking. All right. 19,000. All right. So what's Renwick? Does he want to lead the way again? Is he good with that?
he's not really, he wants to go this way first. So he says, "Come, friends, come." And he starts to come down this way towards the southern end here, where you see a flight of steps that goes up, but much more impressive than that is that you see the wall is removed here from the side of the tower, just as you can see on the image to the left, and it's almost looks to you like an aquarium right now, where you can see under the water here of where you entered, and you look out and you can see deep down into the water below you, and he points out, he says, "Down there." And you all, whoever steps up to take a closer look through the side of the tower, can look down, and several, maybe 100 foot below the floor you're on now, on the sea floor, there's a hole in the ground that sounds a little bit like what he and Nod were speaking of. And he says, he points to that, and you're all able to come and see this. And again, I think
Black screen.
Oh, let's see. Sorry.
Nearly black.
This should fix it.
Ah, there we go.
Yep.
I was going to say, it looked like the remains of a boat was in there.
Yeah.
That's what I see now.
Are you able to see it?
That's not our boat, is it?
Yes.
Hopefully, because that means the tower's collapsed.
It doesn't look like the boat that you were just on. No, yeah, it doesn't appear to be the Reverie. But the hole in the ground is what he's looking at, and I think as Nod would react to, that's the point of origin that both he and Renwick would have come from to reach the bottom of this tower.
Is there a noticeable current going into or out of it? Because I see
There
there's
are bubbles. There are bubbles that you would see sort
and
of.
there's a sail on on the bottom there.
Yeah, there's a shipwreck there. And it looks like a smaller war vessel to you, and you start to wonder if maybe it is responsible for the hole in the wall that you're looking through to begin with.
Yeah.
It seems
And
pretty
the hole
old.
in the wall is like all water. We're underwater.
So there is a magical force that is holding the water out in a shimmering plane in front of you that if you look close enough you can see right next to the water. In between you and the water there's this really thin kind of greenish hue that seems to be very similar to what you noticed on the first floor when you retreated into the tower, and seems to be shielding the tower from taking any water in.
The 9 hells, that's grim. Let's hope we find another way out. Then I say to Aiden and Urza, I say, if we kill the wizard, water come flooding in.
He
Baden,
probably didn't set this up.
Okay.
It probably predates him by millennia, I'm guessing. So if we kill the wizard, I don't think it'll have an effect on the tower. But if he has a password for like a teleport pad or something, that we might lose that, but possibly only temporarily.
Baden would agree generally with you, but he thinks it's a good point from a Mithra.
It is.
There's likely something. There could be some object or condition that could break this seal. It's something for us to be aware of.
Agreed.
All right. So with that, you are still probably mesmerized by being able to have that point of view. Wouldn't be something that, other than Saharn, that you would have had in your life, to be underwater this deep and to be able to see so clearly what's around you. But I think after a while you would realize that you're still here in the tower and still need to press on to figure out what direction you're going to ultimately leave.
What was the direction of the current, if any? You said something about bubbles, but
It looks like just occasionally there's bubbles that are coming up out of the hole, and as you see the bubbles rising, it seems like the current would be going right now eastward, northeast.
oh, okay. There's nothing coming up out of the hole or down into the hole.
No, I would think that
Okay.
the site of this, you guys would have spent 15 or 20 minutes just staring out, and throughout that time all you saw was shadowy fish and things kind of lurking around, but nothing stood out, no life forms.
Could we have looked up and seen how far the surface was?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
even be able to judge the distance?
Yeah, no, I think you could. I think you could try to do that. And I think that maybe between everyone in the group, you might estimate that you're half a mile underwater right now.
So it's really dark.
It's pretty dark.
Did we ever try to take these blue on the map? Those are the light sources within the tower, or ancient, or are they just?
They are light sources. Yeah, they are light sources. They are like a glowing mist. That's hovering in a sphere. And it's sitting in these spots, lighting dimly the walkways. It's not much to see by, but it's at least enough to walk towards. And you can't grab them or anything. They're not physical. They're just this mist that's in the air.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think I have a token on this map. I think I saw it briefly go to the seafloor. Oh, there it is.
Oops.
And then
Looks
disappeared.
Like he got shortened a little bit or something. Let's see. There, it should be better.
Whichever.
How big is the hole?
It's pretty much like the whole height of the staircase. So in all, it's probably like 15 feet at its widest, and maybe 10 feet at its highest, something along those lines. Pretty big. Yeah, pretty big hole. And it seems to follow the staircase upward as you go up. You imagine you'll see maybe more of it as you stand on the next level. So
we want to go this way or this way?
Probably where the bear came from. That's my Right.
came from the west, so either way is where the bear came from.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
seventh
right
seat.
in there.
All right.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
You guys want to check this door? Renwick and Nod.
It's already open.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll check it just to make sure. Nothing wrong with being safe.
I think they're set, so if we click on them, they open.
Yeah, they are. I have them on your token layer on this map. Here, I'll have. Renwick
40%.
doesn't find any traps on it.
Yeah, 40% for me.
Okay. And you also don't find any traps, so you both feel like it's safe to open.
All right.
So
Are we going in?
who's going in first?
Okay.
I will go in.
Go ahead and put yourself in there. Yeah. There we go. Again, I think you guys can see it now on the map that it's very similar in terms of space. Looks like it was a living quarters where elves were imprisoned. I think as you start to look around in here, you notice that it doesn't look like there was as many residents in this particular section for whatever reason. There were a lot more residents in the first area that you went to, and for the first time you see a body on the ground that does not appear to be elven. And in fact, as you take a closer look at it, you notice that it's actually a dwarf. And that
Kill?
the dwarf what's that? No. So the bodies in here
Charge complete.
don't look like they were as mutilated, or it's almost like these were preserved. Some of these bodies were preserved, but they're mummified at this point, the way that they look, and they haven't been gnarled on like those in the other area, which was more of like the feeding area that you saw. In total, you find 5 elves and 1 dwarf in between all of these different parts of the suite, and you're able to explore, throughout here, and the doors are open, and you can check everything out. What I think is interesting about this as well, and this is something that I think you noticed a little bit in the first area, is that the armor, most of the pieces of armor, some of the pieces of armor have been, seems like someone has sorted through it, taken the armor off of them and sorted through it, and like some pieces are missing and some pieces are still here. So it's weird that something took the time to sift through and take off their armor, would be one takeaway. But in general, again, it's pretty depraved and sad quarters, and what you can see would have been a prison for these people, to where they maybe starved to death or died by some other means that isn't apparent to you right now.
Is there
What's up
anything
here?
interesting among the armor?
So you sift through it, you can find different pieces, basically to where you could piece together a pretty good suit of plate mail, but it definitely looks a little bit thrown together. It's not all sized the same, but you could piece a whole thing together for the most part from this. But again, I think that's where you start to notice like some pieces are missing, like this should have another part that goes with it and it's not here. But again, if you combine it all together, you could put together a full suit.
Yeah, I was actually looking for, never been super comfortable in plate mail.
Okay.
I would like to have a backup
Kind
set, but obviously there's nothing here. So that's fine. I'm wearing the heaviest gladiator armor, and I want to go down to the next tier at some point, but
Like find a suited chain that would still fit her.
no, a chain is actually higher. I'm like equivalent to scale mail.
Scale mail. Is there another, is like half plate or bandit or something up in that range?
It's not scale mail, but it's equivalent with
okay.
AC 5. No, it's that gladiator armor. Gosh, it's piecemeal.
Yeah, like maybe you wanted to switch out a few pieces, like for some fresher pieces or some better quality pieces to keep your armor. Maybe that's something that a Mithra would see, like the shoulder or the leg or something that she decides is a better quality and she wants to change out.
Aldrins or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if there's something that I can use that's not going to add to my Wait,
Yeah, definitely. So
doesn't
you can definitely find a few pieces that you could switch out for with your current pieces and you'd keep the same AC and everything, but you'd be wearing a newer and maybe more meaningful piece to you.
Cool.
So I think Baden would be, you would notice, interested in the symbols on the armor as well. So as you're sorting through the armor, he's looking to see if there's symbols, and you do find that some of the pieces bear the symbol of Seychelles, who you saw on the first floor, and he was looking though to see if there was some other symbol maybe from the dwarf's armor, but he's not able to find that, or neither are you as he's sorting through it. Nothing that gives away which armor or if any were the dwarves. That's really what you take from this for now.
Yeah, there's nothing special about the dwarf. There's no markings on the dwarf or any of the things that are still on it.
But it is the first dwarf that we found body.
It is.
Yeah.
It's actually the first non-elven body, yeah, that you've seen.
These are all sea elves.
They are, and they look a little different, and they have a little bit of slightly different appearance in terms of their bone structure and stuff like that, but they're pretty similar to Saharn even. And then the dwarf, I think, seeing that you guys don't really have a dwarf in the group or a ton of experience with dwarves, I think you wouldn't be able to pick up on anything specific about this dwarf that would help you identify his origin.
What's this black box up here?
Hit it again. Hit it again,
Thinking
Chris.
it's gonna be another storage. There's like the one on the east. I'm thinking.
What's this black box here?
That's what we just said.
That's the storage area.
Okay.
There was equivalent storage over here that you and Baden used for grabbing some spell components.
Okay.
You're welcome to open this one as well. And
sure, why not?
Yeah, and I think in here you would actually find like a lot of different general supplies like ropes and bags and things like that would be laying about in here.
Potions.
No potions visible, but just some random general supplies.
There you go, Nod. There's some
rope
help for your disguise.
Awesome.
Oh, I thank you, sir.
Bags and burlap and canvas.
And you can check this side as well, and it's similar. There's some rotted rations in this room, on top of the fact that there are some other general supplies. You do find a lantern in here. And there is some oil as well.
In working order?
Yeah, you can mess with the lantern and get it working. There's some extra oil that's in here as well.
Does it have a hood? Or
it does. It has a hood. Mm-hmm.
That might
Gregor
be better.
Can carry that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a better solution than a storage.
So are you gonna carry, or who's gonna carry that, Gregor? Okay, let me.
Yeah, I'll keep track of it.
I'm just gonna add lighting to him for the torch so that he illuminates a little further for you.
If I remember correctly, doesn't a Mithra sword have a light spell on it as well?
Yeah,
but it's
more of the dimmable version as well. And it's not a permanent, right? But you're right. She could still use that sword if she needed to light her way.
Yeah, am I the only one like me and the NPC without infravision? All right.
I know. Nod, can you see in the dark?
Baden can't see in the dark, but he has some other means to do. He can't naturally see in the dark, but.
Yes, I can see in the dark, but I would definitely pretend like I couldn't see in the dark, just to fit in.
I think everyone else, then other than Gregor and Mithra, has the ability to see in the dark. Okay.
All right. Ideas on how to get into the trapped room?
Yeah. To recap that, you found traps on this door here and this door here. Nod had found one here, and Renwick had found one here, and Nod found one actually on both.
I assume they open inward.
Actually, let's see. I think these open outward. Let's see. Most of
See
these.
the
I'm
hinges.
just looking at the way the other doors opened, and yeah, it seems like they would pull open. But no,
So
you
we
don't.
were wrong, Chris.
You don't see the hinges.
Yeah.
If you want, and you
Well,
look at one of the other doors, you can see that the way that it's hinged is built into the wall, so it's got like hinges with a rod that go through it. Once the doors open, it would be easy to access.
I suggest we don't stand in front of it, whatever we do. And I have a length of rope. Unless anybody else has some other rope, we could always tie off a door handle and get it unlocked and just drag it open.
It's like pull it like this way.
Yeah, whichever
There's
way
chain
it
in that.
opens.
There's a bunch of chain in that storage locker too.
Yeah, but that's noisy.
That's up here. But whatever's going to happen might be noisy when we pull this thing open.
It's possible.
Does anybody have rope use or?
I
anything?
I have the rope,
Sure
but
does.
no use.
I have rope use.
Okay. Yeah, you
What-
could
The
try.
master does.
You could try to tie it to the door, and I don't think you'd be able to open the door with the rope necessarily. You could pull the door with the rope, but I don't think you could turn the handle unless.
You still have a knock spell?
No. The only spells
Alright.
I've got left are a web spell and a mirror image.
What kind of handle is it? Is it like a push? Is it like a?
It's like a knob, like a metal knob, like a round metal knob. And you've got to turn it with some force. Like when you're grabbing it and turning it, it's not the easiest thing to turn, which is why your rope can't really do that all on its own. So I guess just
Right.
position yourselves in the way that you would prefer, and on who's going to be standing where when you do this. I think
Is this a wooden or stone door?
wooden.
We could burn it down.
Yeah,
Might
let's say,
take
can I see
longer.
that torch of yours?
Yeah, we're already taking longer.
Yeah,
I-
that would attract me.
Yeah, I don't have a mouse, so if I ping the board, could you move Jamie or anybody else that can grab me?
Where are you? Oh, here you are. I see you right here.
I'm in the hall, right about that.
Okay,
There you are.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
no problem. All right, so you've tied the rope to the door. Is somebody willing to grab the handle and turn the handle first so that you can then pull it from the rope side?
Were we able to figure out how the trap works at all? Is it like a wire trap that something falls, or did the thieves know what kind of trap it is?
They just know that it seems like there's some switch or something that's going to mechanically flick or toggle from the door moving.
The door moving, so not necessarily turning the knob.
All right, the
Yeah.
horn will move forward. I'll turn the knob and immediately run. Turn the knob.
Well,
As soon as that door
Oh,
starts to open, I'm running back to the group.
if the hinge is on our side, we're at the center, then you want to turn the
Yes.
knob from the other side so you're not standing in front of the door when you turn the knob.
Sorry, I was looking at the door in the eastern hallway.
He's looking at, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about this door, or which door are you all talking about right now?
I'm talking
Okay.
about this one.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right.
Yeah, so the hinge is on the left side, so
Left
that
side?
means the
Right.
well,
Yeah,
if-
so
because it's-
pulls toward us.
so if you're gonna turn the knob, you want to be standing on the right side, closest to a nice solid wall.
He's saying put you over here, and instead of running back to here, you would maybe run over to here or
Yeah,
duck into one of these
And then
closets.
I'm gonna pull the rope and
Okay.
exactly.
All right. So
I'm
that's
gonna follow your plan and it'll leave me. If something happens, I'll be on the other side and get away from the party. This is good. Let's do this.
right.
yeah. If we can split you all up, that would be great.
Yes.
Do that. So I think we'll do a dex check for Griff and Seharn here to see how well you execute this.
Slow.
No
Yeah,
problem.
it's. I lost your.
Oh yeah, I just lost all of you on Roll20. I see only myself. Oh, now you're back.
See.
I don't see Brandon.
All right, Dex check.
I will try to reload them.
Let me check your lighting also, Brandon, and see what's going on there. I have limited field of vision. That's what it is. This should help you. Okay, all right. So you are able to get enough force and turn on the handle and time it correctly with Griff and pull the door and get it to swing open. At which point, I guess Mithra would notice and Griff would notice probably more than anyone else, since the Harn's running away from it, that it looks like a puff of dust comes, like a cloud of dust comes through the door as it swings open and is lingering in this general area for about a minute or so until it dissipates and you can see through it normally again, and you don't see it or smell it or anything like that from your vantage point.
I'm going to move closer to the door if no one else is.
Yeah, and when you get closer to the door, you can see on the floor some of this powder, at your feet that seem to spew out.
Just want to peek in.
Does it look familiar?
Good question. Let's see.
We got dust thrown at us by the fire knives.
Yeah, this doesn't look like that dust to you. I think, though, if you want to make a nature check, Griff.
You also have,
Or,
don't you have herbalism?
Herbalism, I'm saying nature, yeah.
Herbalism?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're not exactly sure what it is. It doesn't look familiar. It doesn't look like what you saw from the fire
It's
knife.
dust.
Poisonous dust, maybe, but
So,
Maybe, yeah, don't step in it if you can help it.
so this time I think,
All
Seharn,
right.
when you look in the hallway, it looks a little bit different from the other areas in the sense that it seems like untouched, as if the Yugoloth and others probably weren't coming in and out of this area for whatever reason. And as you enter into this area, you start to notice that it seemed as if there were only 2 people that were being kept captive here. And as you know, again, check out all of the areas, you could tell that these 2 actually, as they lay on the ground, are clad in full plate armor and appear to be unscathed in their deaths as well, but
Are they
also
open?
untouched. Like maybe they sealed themselves in. You're not sure exactly, but it just looks like they lived out their days in here without the same intruders that the other areas dealt with.
Humans? Elves?
They are 2 elves that you find in here.
Elves?
Looking like we may be trapped here for a very long time.
elves are
They are,
surface
Yeah.
elves.
they're sea elves. They appear to be of higher rank, if you will, from what you notice in terms of their armor. It's in great condition. It's in better quality. You notice that one of the elves that's laying on the ground also has in his hands, as he's laying on the ground, he has a symbol of Seychelles in his hand, like a holy symbol that he's holding on his chest.
So it might have been a cleric.
Most likely a fellow priest, eh, Curzon?
Do they
Yeah.
weapons?
Or both carry long swords.
Say no one's gonna pick them up, I might grab them and stick them somewhere in my stuff.
Yeah, I would say pick up the holy symbol.
Say, do you want to eye the armor and see if it's worth anything?
He laid to rest with his brother. Not sure we should take that.
Anything else of interest in here?
It looks like there was a room up here where there were some papers and books that the elves seemed to take time to destroy. I think Kurza and Baden, if you're entering that room, you would see these bindings, these book bindings that were torn off of books, and pieces of the books that were burnt and destroyed. And as you look
In
at
this
that
room?
in this room, yep, that one, yep. And you have, let me just double check your proficiency.
I have Elvish and Ancient
I have
Dwarven.
Elvish as well.
Okay, so these appear to be written in Ancient Elvish, at least from what you're able to pick up from the bindings on some of these. It leads you to believe, and Baden to believe, that they were trying to keep this information from someone and that they took extra steps to destroy it. It doesn't really give you can't really put together what it would have been from the information you could still find, but it's in Ancient Elvish.
Are the
And
books salvageable?
no, unfortunately they're not. Baden
Any-
hopes there's more books.
Any topics based on the book titles? If any titles.
He doesn't have any idea what the titles are saying, and he has some Ancient Elvish experience, but fortunately it's not really. They had a lot of time to destroy this, so it was
Not well readable
intentionally
in any
obscured.
case.
Yep.
Even as an elf, it's probably beyond anything I could think of. Just the way you're saying it.
Yeah, I mean, as an elf, you would know it's in Ancient Elven, but beyond that, you wouldn't recognize anything that you could put context together from, because they've really done a good job in peeling everything apart and burning the discernible parts.
Is this door? Do we want to check this door, or is it?
Might as well, unless it's trapped.
Yeah,
I'll have them both
Renwick
check.
and
Yep.
So it looks like these elves made the last desperate.
Wow. The
blockaded themselves in.
yeah, you do find a trap on this door. Both of you had great rolls too, by the way.
I guess, can we go ahead and try to disarm it?
Yep.
And give it a go?
Yep.
40%.
You think maybe they were trapped here from that beast that we killed?
You're
I think the trap was on the inside, though. I think they may have set the trap.
Yeah.
You're able to disarm the trap, Nod, and
Awesome.
it looks similar to the same style trap that you just encountered on the outside door, and you're able to disable it so that when the door moves, it won't touch the trigger. And so when you open it, you are able to also, if you'd like, try to attempt to gather the substance before it's dispersed.
Yes, I'd definitely try to do that.
What we'll do is I'll do another trap check for you, but I'll have you roll this one out loud for everybody so they can see what happens to you. So just bear in mind that if the others know that you're doing this, they may want to step back.
Yeah, I was about to say you might actually want to step back.
Because everyone would know that the dust that came out from the other area was about 5 feet. It got about a 5-foot radius. So great roll. So you are able to collect the dust into a bag without losing any or being affected by it. Great roll.
Make another herbalism check on different substance this time.
It seems to be the same substance, so unfortunately, unless someone else has herbalism they want to try.
I have survival.
I'm sorry, Wayne. You got washed out there. It wasn't picking up what you were asking.
Oh, I was saying I do have herbalism, but the deficiencies we took last week on the characters are not there tonight for some reason, so I didn't speak up about using it.
Oh, okay. So it's missing from your sheet, your herbalism is? Or let's see.
It's just intelligence -2.
Let's see, any proficiencies on your sheet right now? We'll have to look at that, see what happens. But yeah, if you want to roll that.
Waiting
It
for
is.
character sheet to come up.
There you go. Yeah, you made it by quite a bit. So it is.
That was an intelligence check. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That's what you
yeah,
said,
he
right?
just
Minus
did it.
2?
Yeah, that would have worked. Yeah, Saharn, you believe it is some type of spore. It's actually a spore. And you're not exactly sure what the species is, but you believe that it would have some type of possibly paralysis effect, but you're not 100% sure.
Perhaps.
Think to throw at our magic user when we go to fight him.
There's some on the front door too. There's a trap on the front door, and now that we're on this side of it, Nod, you might be able to gather that too.
That's true. Yeah, you could do that as well. You could get another batch of it, have 2 of them.
Maybe he could grow this. If there's spores, you could have if this is something useful as a weapon, my friend, you could have a
Yeah,
container.
that's what Kurza was saying. Throw it at the wizard.
Use him as a guinea pig. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's
Any kind of
test
paralysis is good for a mage.
So
Yeah,
Nod,
the less he
All
can
right.
talk.
if you want to give it another try, Nod, you could try to extract the spores from the trap on the front. I'll move Molly back so she doesn't get blasted.
I'll definitely tiptoe my way over there and make sure I don't set off the trap as I'm getting closer and give it another go. And I guess we'll do it public again.
If you want. Yeah, unfortunately,
Ooh.
that would actually be
Hear a
a
thud?
situation where it would set it off. So I'll let you decide if you want to use an astonishing fortune here.
That
Oh,
would be a
yeah.
good thing to use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. This is our test.
Yeah, I don't mind risking it for the biscuit. It's what's paralyzation for. Okay. Okay. I'll do it.
Low roll.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
there you
Okay.
go. There you go. So you are able to get a second dose of it, if you will, and pouch it successfully and safely get it to the point that you can open this door as well. So we can leave that open. I'll leave open the...
So some time of paralysis spore is what we think it is, right?
So, great question. When you, yeah, if you do come in, for those of you that do come
Sure.
in, you find a few papers that seem to be intact that are laying in here as if they were the last things that maybe they left and that maybe they couldn't bring themselves to destroy. And as you start to look through some of these texts and papers, your eyes, I think, are all drawn to a map that you find within it. So you uncover this paper from throughout all of the papers that are left in here. This seems to be the most meaningful one, and it appears to be
Location of the 3 towers.
the location of the towers.
Does Baden see this?
Yes, Baden. I guess Baden is not in the room with you at this particular moment, so I'm gonna say that your party has come across this information first.
I think that's a good bit of treasure for our campaign.
Anybody read that?
Ancient,
What?
ancient Elvish.
Let me look at your. No. I'm just looking at your.
I just have Elvish, Halfling, and
How
Common.
do-
Oh,
how
I'll
do
read
you
it.
character that looks nothing
If you
like
wanna,
Elf.
if you wanna make an intelligence check for this, I would say probably Kurza. You could make an intelligence check,
Okay.
which would be hard for you to fail, but you think it's probably some type of ancient Dwarven language.
I have ancient Dwarvish.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's see which one you have. You would be able to possibly discern some of this. Let's see. Go ahead and do, I guess you can do a proficiency check with that. And we'll see. Made by 4. Let's see. You think that this is written in the ancient Dwarven language of Dethic. I think
Hmm.
for purposes of this, because we didn't get down to that level, we'll say that you're able to piece together some of this. And I think your first feeling is that you're having a tough time with the writing that's on the towers themselves. But so you start to think that they're actually those words to you look like they might be names. Like they might be
Yeah.
a name and not common language. So
That would be logical.
yeah, so those appear to be names. The top, I think, is, let's see, what else does this say?
Two of them are on islands, it looks like.
The bottom of it reads to you Myth Nantar. So the bottom text you're able to discern as being what you believe to be ancient Dwarvish for Myth Nantar. And as
The
you
top?
look at the top a little bit more closely, you believe that it's a phrase or a saying. And as you study it a little bit closer, you believe it actually says Fool's Landing.
Really? Fool's Landing.
We're talking about
Hmm.
the topmost tower right now.
No, the text,
No, the top
the
order.
larger
Title.
text across the top says Fool's Landing. The larger text across the bottom says Myth Nantar. And the text around each of the towers appears to be a name, which is
What do you
difficult for him to interpret or translate because they're names. But so he wouldn't even know how to pronounce it or anything like that.
And we're pretty close to top one, right?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
We're probably in the top one. What do you make of that circle?
Maybe that is
Yeah.
Myth Nantar itself. 3 entry
And
points.
the other one looks like the Trader's
Okay.
Isle.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So there's
We
some
definitely have to keep this map.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
and there's some supporting text that comes with this that you'd be able to take as well. That just seems to have just some generic more information that seems like it was left with the map. So you can collect that and this together. Who wants to hold on to this?
I think Kurza
You
should.
want it, Cruza? I was
Sure.
going to say, yeah, he can read it.
Sure thing. I've got a sleeve scroll case I can put it all in. So let's see, what do we want to call it?
We want Baden to take a look at it too, see if he knows any more, since this is his life's work.
Hurt.
Might not hurt. I'm just don't want to take.
I'll leave it to Kurza
got-
to decide if you
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to show it.
We've gotten as far as we can with it. I already know Dwarven, ancient Dwarven, so he might be able to give names to the towers, but I'm not sure if that'll help us at this point.
So would my Dwarven help at all?
No, fortunately, it would just appear to be like an ancient version of your
Let's-
language that wouldn't
Let's
be.
let's see if
decipherable.
Baden can shine any more light on it.
All right.
Okay, so you'll call Baden over and let him know that you've found the text and show this to him. I
Yeah.
think you would see his reaction would be significant, that he'd be at a loss of words for a moment as he studies it. And he confirms for you what you believed already, Kurza, is that it reads Fool's Landing and Myth Nantar. He also
Okay.
believes that you are in the northern tower that's depicted. So he's confirming all of those
Yeah, it
things.
confirms that.
And then he attempts to interpret the names. And I'm going to give him a chance to see if he is able to. All right. Yeah, he does interpret the first name. Let's see how many of these he can do. Okay, so he knows 2 of the 3 he can get, including the tower you're in. He believes that it reads on the tower that you're in. He believes that it reads Verodis.
Ah,
Paradis.
it's the name of the mage.
Really?
And the eastern tower, he believes
One in the Pirate Isles.
the one in the Pirate Isles, he believes reads Melkor. The other name, it's like, it's confusing him. He's not sure.
It's
So
the
Renwick-
name. It's going to be the name that Bart remembered.
Paradis is the mage that Renwick is trying to kill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Now that
So he's an ancient mage.
Very possibly.
How ancient is this ancient dwarven?
It really isn't used commonly anymore, so it's a couple hundred years old at this point.
How old do your people live, Saharn?
out of character, I forget.
I-
Don't expect to live 300 or 400
It's-
years.
It's a couple hundred years. I want to say it's 300 to 400. It's right in that range. Yeah, it's in the book of.
No, that's my answer.
So this mage could be the one that's concurrent to this map. Tia,
You know,
what race is this mage? Does Renwick know?
Doranhast.
Renwick believes that he was Elven.
The elf?
That he doesn't know. He doesn't know that. Some type of elf.
Bart had mentioned.
So
when
Renwick's
we were
never
on-
actually seen him?
No. He's just told that he's Elven.
Okay. Sorry, Tim.
No, that's all right. Bart had mentioned when he was describing the tattoo and the vision he saw, Baden, he remembered hearing the name Jornhast. Does that ring a bell with Baden and look
Let's
anything
see.
like the name of the
Let's-
third tower?
Let's do it. Let's roll. Yes, so now that you say that to him, he looks at it again, he says, you could be right. I think that is Jornhast.
What's the significance of the dot in the middle? Is there anything from your learnings that you remember? Or is that just the central location of the three?
This whole region is where and some other scholars strongly believe Mithnantar rests. So it's my belief that symbol is Mithnantar, I should hope. But how we get there, that I don't know.
I'll
Right.
guess one of two methods. Either there's tunnels or teleport pad.
That's what I'm thinking.
Me up, Scotty.
We will find out. Let's go.
I think this would be a good spot to take a mid-session break, and I'll let you guys contemplate some of that and what your next moves might be. We'll do 5 minutes and come back. Does that work for everybody?
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. We'll be back. All right, so we'll pick it back up, and you all are, I think, studying the map, discussing the map. You've consulted with Baden. I think Baden would definitely be interested in the map. He would be showing some interest in it, and obviously in the fact that it validates and proves a lot of different things. He won't try to ask you for it or anything like that, Cursor, but I think you notice that he's very interested in the map.
Well, once we're all done, I'll put it away in my scroll case.
Keep that safe, friend. Keep that safe.
Absolutely.
Did we inform those hirelings to come collect all this treasure for us?
Yeah. Yep. So they're working on that. You don't know what the outcome was, though, because I think the plan was to move on while they were doing that.
Mhm.
But if you want to check in with them before you leave the floor, you could. That's your
Yeah.
next move. Okay. All right. If you check in with them, and let's double check because they do have names. I know Quig and Iliac. They've been working pretty diligently. I think that, fortunately for them and you, they're used to working through some filth and dirty situations, and they're able to separate the two things and get most of the coin boxed up. And by the time you're all done inspecting the upper suite there and returning back, you would see that they're basically like at least finished filling as much as they could into the chests that remained from downstairs, and you're pretty sure they've got everything in there for the most part. They've just got to work together to carry them down. So that's what they're in the midst of doing when you all finish up.
How many chests are filled?
They'll use all 5 of them. They'll use all 5 of the chests. Although a couple of them are broken, they're still able to use them to carry some of the coin in. They just can't, it just wouldn't be lockable or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Give one of them a pat on the back and tell them, good job. Make sure you lift with your knees.
We'll keep a close eye on it. Don't worry. We'll keep a close eye. We have nowhere else to go. We'll count it twice. I didn't pick that up. Did anybody else pick that up?
Mm.
No.
Sorry. I was just saying that they'll get their fair share.
They'll get their fair share. Okay.
So maybe we'll give them a nod and usher everybody towards the stairs.
All right.
All right. Gonna go up.
Onward and upward, or
We're low on spells, if that matters any.
We've gotten luck. I don't think it's been long enough to take over there.
No. How long has it been?
I'm really not picking up what Wayne's saying. It's like static.
No, I'm not either.
Maybe try to leave and rejoin the Discord. I think that might possibly help. Or like
He was just saying that he didn't think it's been that long. How long has it been?
It's been like
take a rest.
It's been like half a day. You could obviously spend as much time as you want now in that area. It's up to you.
What do you guys think? Should we take a rest, refresh spells?
Should maybe give Baden and see what he thinks, the other wizard.
Yeah. How's Baden doing on spells? Blue is light.
He could use a replenishment if further foes await. I would prefer to have more in my arsenal, but I have a few left.
How much time has passed?
All right. It's like half a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been maybe like 6 or 7
So
hours.
his enchantment is worn off on our swords.
Yep.
Weapons. All right. We barricade ourselves in here, block that door off, and then take a rest in here. Should we go back down to the first floor?
I'm for going up.
Without taking a rest?
But what I'm seeing in my mind, in the real world that we're in, we've only been awake a handful of hours. We rest. That's where
Yeah,
my
sure.
That's what Jamie just said. It's been like half a day, and Aiden said he could use a rest to refresh.
You'd have to...
From this long battle, we had this like excruciating battle with this old Gath, and we blew all these spells, so I'm sure we're a bit exhausted from that.
Yeah, that, and we've been walking around for a while. We've searching through all the rooms and everything, so it was 2 minutes in each room, so.
I have no offensive spells left.
So what we're saying is you're going to kill some time and then rest so that you get all of the benefits. And if there's anything else you wanted to do before you rested, you would have time to do that. I would assume some of it would be helping the pirates get
with the coin,
the treasure down, continuing to look at and study the map and the other text that was there. Perhaps if there was anything else that you wanted to do.
Fix my disguise.
Yeah, okay. We have say we spend the rest of the day moving the coins around, and we'll take a rest. to tomorrow. Pick up there.
I can sleep the first and then stay awake for the second half.
Mithra, you always like to take first watch, right?
Actually, I like to. Yeah, either anything is. I'm already just a lot. 2 hours, is that right, James?
Whatever you guys want to do. Usually each shift would be 2 hours, but if you want to break it up differently for whatever reason.
But because of the ring, 2 hours or is it 4 hours?
4. Should be 4.
It's
You're
4.
like an elf.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You need
You know,
very little food and sleep.
to be fully rested, if Kurza's going to sleep, I should sleep the opposite of him. He's
Makes
awake.
sense.
Yeah.
Mithra's first, or I guess what's your batting order here?
The harm will take her.
Okay, so harm.
About that.
You got it. Okay, I think it's that.
That work?
Fine. Yeah.
You guys okay with that? Okay.
Yep.
All right, let me just roll these. Does anyone else have anything else they want to talk about with each other, or Baden, or Renwick, or each other?
The only thing I would ask is, did anybody get any kind of attunement or feeling from their new magic items? Rings, the amulet, the gloves.
So, let me look at your list again. No, I think that I want to say, who has the amulet? Is that Harn?
Yes.
And Kurza has a ring. Is that right, Kurza? Or what was it that you had?
Duration ring.
That's unidentified?
Correct.
That was what you felt that gave you some benefit against the fire that was breathed upon you.
Really?
Yes. That actually is a ring of fire resistance.
Ooh. Cool.
So it cut the damage down significantly for you when you were hit with that. But the other items haven't made themselves apparent to you yet through this combat so far.
That was Kurza's ring?
Yeah.
Shahar. Yeah.
Kurza. All
I
right.
also wanted to ask Kurza about those magic items that we identified in the temple where we left. What were they again? Wasn't there like a of control? No, not ringing a bell.
I'm not sure which
We
one.
The only
had
things in
the ones that were
things-
left over.
Yeah.
There was we pretty much figured out what the short sword was just
Yeah, that's the
by,
one Mithra has.
and then
No, actually,
we've got, what is there?
There's a small box with a dust and gem.
Yep.
It says magical. There's a dagger, but I don't know if that's magic or not. It was just written down in party treasure.
wasn't there
magical
something of
belt
human control
and
like from
small
before?
statue.
Yeah,
Oh.
so we've got I think the dagger was magical. So we've got the 4 items that we still need to identify.
Okay.
They're listed in the only things that I'm aware of is listed in unassigned magic items.
Yeah, and they were all
I'm aware.
determined to be magical. You just don't know what they were yet. Yep.
Yeah, they're fairly
Okay,
old
cool.
too. We've had them for quite a while.
That's
Yeah.
probably what would be helpful though for me is if you all are wearing unidentified items, that we list them in that same magic items. Maybe we just call this magic items and keep the unassigned and the unidentified listed here. That'll make it a lot easier to run through.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just have you all move into here. I assume you're shutting the doors to the room.
Shut the 2 outermost trapped doors so they don't appear to
Well,
have
it only
been
came through
altered.
one exterior door.
So
The
close
other
it.
one's still closed. So yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Is there
then
any way
close
I could
that
set
one.
a trap on one of them, just so, for example, a noisemaker, set it so as the doors open, a piece of metal or something will fall and clang to make noise?
Yeah. You could try to set a trap. I believe that would be. There is a skill for that, right? That you have. Let's see. Should be like set snares, I believe, is the set snares. Let's see. You may not have it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I would say that if you wanted to re-rig the trap that you disarmed, you could do that, but rigging a new trap would require like a set snares check or something to that effect.
Of survival.
So you could try a set snares check just at the minus, which I think it's, I want to say it's Dex. Let's see. Set snares, I think it's under rogue abilities. It might also be under some others, but
Under Ranger.
yeah, set snares Dex. For you, if you wanted to make a Dex check, it would be, you would subtract, what is it, 3 from your roll, because it's already a Dex -1. Actually, it's Dex -5. So you'd have to roll 15 or higher.
So add 5 to that.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is just
yeah,
my normal
that's right.
Dex.
That's
You
right.
got it.
That's right. You actually got it because you got a
You're
1.
good.
Are you trying to do, what would you like to do with that roll? Are you trying to reset the trap the way it was, or do a noise trap?
Just a noise trap, essentially.
Okay.
Even something as simple as just setting a tool on top of the door frame or whatever in the crack, so as it's opened, it would just fall.
Sure. Yeah, you can rig up a pretty reliable noise trap with a roll like that. You feel like it's solid and in place. All right, so the first watch is for Amithra, and during your watch, Amithra, it goes by uneventfully, and then Kurza would be next, I believe, at least the way we had this written. I think that might be backwards.
Take hours 5 through 8.
Yeah, you were taking the second half, so the second one would be Saharn, and Saharn's
Amithra.
watch goes by uneventful. Then it would be Kurza, and so Kurza,
Griff
during
or nod.
during your watch, Saharn, Kurza, you hear what sounds like some movement coming from the hallway.
Which
And
hallway?
sounds like it's coming from this direction.
Oh, wait out there.
Down
Okay.
the hallway.
Okay. Who else is on watch hours 5 and 6?
I think that would be
Nod or Griff?
Griff would be with you at this time.
I let him know if what I hear.
So Griff,
All right, Griff. So do we wake him up?
Yeah, wake them up.
Okay.
you all hear.
Oh, wait.
That's where the stairs are.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
you're all awakening, you hear these what sound like footsteps coming down or north this way. And the closer they get, the more distinct they sound to you, like they're metal. It's like metal on rock is the sound that you're hearing as it wanders the hall past your door and seemingly heads up this way towards the northern
Gonna go
past you.
go kill our sailors.
And then after that, the noise gets quiet.
Going down.
Yeah.
It would have walked right past the corpse of that.
Yeah, it would have walked over the course of the Eugalith, and I think that you would have heard it have to deal with that, at least traverse it.
But yet it did
forgot-
nothing and didn't have a reaction. It didn't investigate.
We all heard it go by, right?
Yeah, everyone was awoken, and you're not quite through a full night's rest yet. You're 3/4 through. You need 2 more hours of rest to gain your full benefits of everything. I think for other than Kurza or those that have the advantage.
I have enough.
Forgot to ask Saharn to last.
No, we did.
Yeah, I think he did it. He did them all. Yeah. He had 3, and he gave them out to you guys that were half.
No, he said I'll get on. I had saying I
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he had 1 left.
All right. What do we want to do? Do we want to go investigate whatever that was?
I think it would be more advantageous to us to have faith in those sailors and stay here.
I agree. If it appears not to be bothering anything, then it might not bother them.
So we can check on them after, but we should let the
I think that's cowardly. I think
If
we
we
should.
hear screams,
Yeah, I think we should check on it.
I think we should. Maybe just going down to the lower exit.
Whomever can move silently should probably go and
Nod,
listen at the
Renwick,
top of
you
the
guys
stairs.
wanna check? Yeah.
That would be the one that's not interested.
I think you could try to convince Renwick if you want to try a charisma check on him, but he's not volunteering.
Yeah, I told Renwick, I'm like, we're better off knowing what we're going to be facing. And they'll come back here and we'll be trapped in here.
We'll have something behind us.
But the way
Yeah, we need.
Go up.
this turn of events makes the way forward easier. Why turn back?
Depends if it's coming back up the stairs.
Yeah.
We
Back up behind us.
We could lay an ambush if it.
get there first.
Can I?
If we know what we're up against.
So you're gonna try to charisma check him? Okay, let me have him see if he's gonna roll to see if he's able to.
I have a really crappy charisma.
He'll let out a sigh. He'll let out a
The
sigh
Mithra already
and
did.
say, "Fine, I'll take a peek."
It's a small price to pay for almost a very capable party that is going to help you on your task.
You make a lot of noise,
All right.
though. I hope you know. You make a lot of noise. My way is a lot quieter. I will take a look.
Okay.
And he will go out this way. Is anyone wanting to come along? I think if it were, it would probably
He just
be
walks
Nod.
out and counts 10 minutes or 10
He
seconds. and
goes
then,
back.
No, I didn't see
all good.
anything, man.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Clear. All clear. No.
All clear.
All right, so he's gonna head out. But anything else then that you all are doing while you wait?
I think I might follow him a little of the way. I'm not in my armor,
I
so I'm
was
not
gonna
making
say-
noise.
I'm going to go back to sleep.
I'll go to right here. Still down 15 hit points.
So he'll head down the steps and out of sight for now.
Oh, I was going to follow him a little
Okay.
ways, but I can't find my token.
Where are you?
Am I under something?
Oh, you're under the door
Is
here.
it here?
Yeah. Here we go. Move you out into the hall by Griff here.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Risky
stuck,
doors.
stuck under the trap door. Okay.
Well, yeah.
So I'll
Then
who else is following?
oh,
Just Griff and Amithra
I'm
following?
right there. Yeah.
Kurza and
I'll have my weapons out.
Saharn, what's your plan here?
Give Griff a healing potion.
Give her the healing potion. What about Kurza? Is he going along or staying back? Anything?
I want to stay back, but I think about here is probably about as far as I'm. Just so I can keep an eye on them, see if they make any motions or come running back. I
hey,
can let everybody know.
what do these ladders lead up to?
Those are actually collections for the water. They're
Oh,
inverted.
okay.
Yeah, they're not going up, they're going down. So it's like a drain for the outer chamber. All right, let me move you all down then to the ground floor. You get down here, I guess you would see Renwick kind of tinkering with the door here, checking on these guys, and as you come down, and he's knocking on the door. Everybody okay in there? They knock on the door in return to communicate that they're in there. And then he sees you all come down the steps and says, "Our friends are safe. What shall we?"
Do we hear anything down here? Aside from our friend?
So he'll step this way. He's detecting noise in. Let's see. Yeah, he thinks he hears something coming from the south end of the tower here. He'll sneak around this way, and eventually, let's see, I'm gonna move you guys. Eventually, he gets around to where your boat is stored, and doesn't see anything. You guys are following him, and as he continues, oh shit, I just deleted him. I think, where did I put him?
If it matters, I can't see any of the longer coming.
Yeah, I just have Molly and Tim here for now, because you guys are, I assume, keeping watch upstairs. Unless you want to come down, you can. Let's see, I gotta put him back out here. Okay. So you get around to here, Griff and Molly, or Griff and Mrithra, Renwick creeping around very capably in the dark. He has to take extra effort to reveal himself to you all. He's that good at maneuvering in the shadows. And he steps out of the shadows towards you all and gives you a hand signal and gestures that he sees something ahead. And at this point, you all would hear the footsteps moving around in this direction, sort of circling. Sounds like you've followed him counterclockwise around, and that the noise seems to be coming from this direction and moving further northward. So he gets a closer look, and from what he is able to report back to you, he says, someone in plate mail wandering these hallways.
Alone?
I see just one.
Tell the other. Ambush him.
He may be headed
After
back up towards them. He might get there. He would get there before we would.
If we're behind him. Let's follow closely behind him. As close as we can. You closer, and then what is he, like, hand signaling to us? Okay. Further.
Yeah. Essentially, the figure will continue to walk around and approach the staircase from when you get to this vantage point. If you want to try to get a look at it, you guys could make a wisdom check to try to see if you're able to glance a peek at it. He's reporting back to you that it looks like a lone figure in plate mail to him.
Well, I'm not carrying any light, obviously. My token.
Well, that's true. You would be dependent on Griff at this point. So, Griff, what would you like to try to peek? Oh, I think you're muted, Tim.
I try to move silently.
Yes. Yes, you can.
I don't have a very good chance indoors, but
For the shot.
So
43, but that's based on Ranger.
Okay, yeah, you're able to glance up, peek at it, and move silently and get up into position to try to see it. And you see the same thing that Renwick reported. You see what looks like a medium-sized, 6 to 7 foot tall humanoid in plate mail, carrying a two-handed sword, large two-handed sword, and seems to be walking. Although I think what you notice is the way in which it's walking seems unusual, almost as if it's not really walking with a normal gait. It's almost dragging itself a little bit, and like dragging itself more than it is stepping. So it's not making like a heavy footfall sound. It's making more of like a grinding sound occasionally, as it seems like it's almost like dragging its feet a little bit at times. And then it begins to ascend the staircase.
Let me know if I hear anything or see anything.
Yeah, that's where we should probably go ahead and have everybody roll a d10 first, and then we'll do initiative.
Surprise?
This is for surprise.
Okay, surprise.
Is that like a
You're good.
macro or roll 1d10?
I think there is a surprise check in there.
Yeah, it's info, tracker, and it's down below your armor class. Surprise roll.
Okay. So yeah, so this really impacts more Seharn and Kurza anyway, but what I'll do is, let's see, I'll bring you guys back up here. See, so for now, you all are downstairs. I'm going to pull you off of this map.
Yeah, if I hear it coming up the stairs again, I'm gonna bolt down this way.
Hang on. Don't move yet.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I got you.
And
Yeah,
then
you'll get
obviously close the door.
you'll get a
behind
normal
me.
turn here, actually. We're going to just go into turns real quick in a second here. I can find the token. I'll just add it again. 1 second. Oh man, roll 20. Don't do this to me. Here we go. I think it worked. All right. Kurza, you hear that grinding metallic on stone sound that you heard earlier. This time it's coming up the steps by itself. As you peek around the corner and you see this head rise above the stairs, it's a fully clad suit of armor around a humanoid shape. And as it ascends the steps, it turns its head to its right and it looks in your direction. And it
Oh,
appears to.
I wanted to bolt before it actually came up,
I think,
but whichever.
but right before you bolt, you see the eyes of this creature appear to be glowing red. And with that, you guys can roll for your initiative.
I would say once it finished ascending the stairs, we would follow.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep you all behind it, just a couple feet, and then you'll be able to join. So you can roll your initiatives as well. I don't know why it's.
Why did that happen?
It didn't put you in the.
Oh, because I'm not on the sheet.
Oh,
There's no token.
I have to put you on here. Okay. Try it again. I've got you on a different layer. I think it may work. We'll see. Okay, it put you in. All right. Kurza, you. Hang on 1 second. Actually, Mithra, you would be first here. So you're following up the steps. Let me add it to the turn order as well. This thing moves up the steps, and when it gets to the top of the steps, it begins to basically reverse path as to the one it took earlier. Once it reaches there, I'm going to move you all back. Oh, I've got this guy on the wrong layer. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, what I'm seeing is the layer where we're bedded.
Yep, sorry about that. Let's move you back.
All right, there we go.
Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
See the bad guy, then a Mithra, then Kurza, then me.
Yeah, so I'll put
Where's
you
the bad
all,
guy?
all in the steps. He's here in this hallway. You see him?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, he's walking south, continuing to drag his feet. You reach the top of the steps. You can see him from behind there, Mithra. He doesn't pay any attention to you or anything at this point. I'm assuming you're just huddled together with the guys up there. Anything that you wanted to do?
So I'm like, when I'm 50 feet away.
Kurza's ducked back, like behind the corners. You don't see him, but
See him?
you're not that far. No, you're not that far away. You're a little less.
Are
than
those
that.
10 feet? Okay.
Yeah, you're like 10 feet away from him or so.
Oh yeah, so I can move and attack. Yeah. There is some light here. Right? I don't have any.
This hallway isn't well lit. You've got these two dim lights over here, but the hallway he's going down, like specifically this section, isn't lit by anything.
He's big.
Oh, it doesn't have the little blue light here.
Want to like, I'm behind him. I want to rush him, charge him in wrestling.
Okay, sure, you can try to do that.
Something like that. I guess that would be a called shot, right? But I am from the rear, so I guess what, a total of -10 or -4 for the called shot, and
Yeah, I think it's
+2. Okay, I'll just go with my.
Go for it. Go ahead. You can move yourself up and try to take an attack here, and it will be
Offhand.
What are you trying to do?
An unarmed attack, wrestling attack.
trying to tackle it from behind, I believe. Ooh,
Yeah.
that would be a
Oh my goodness. Can I use an
fumble.
astonishing fortune?
Yeah, we got 4.
Whatever you're saying, Molly, I can't hear you.
And-
Oh no.
Oh
Back to
my
the
god.
cons. Go ahead and roll.
I
we'll
meant
see.
to blow this.
Wow.
That's roll 20, keeping it fun. Okay, so I think as you're attempting to tackle this thing, for whatever reason, it has caused your weapon to fall to the ground, and your attack is thwarted by your stumble, and you bump into this thing from behind, but you don't get a grip of it or get the maneuver off that you were hoping. So it stumbles forward slightly, as you do too, and your weapon hits the ground. I think, Kurza, you would hear that, and it would be your turn as you suddenly heard a charge in the hallway and
Hello.
some kind of metal hitting the ground a little abruptly.
I'm going to bolt over here
Mhm.
and say, it's on. Come on out now.
All right, you call to the others. So for anyone else that hasn't rolled initiative, you're welcome to roll now. And anything else, Kurza, you want to do?
Let's see. If I go back here, would I be able to cast a spell?
You can move half and still cast.
Okay. Oh, good. That's where that is.
That doorway to the hall is not trapped anymore. This one here.
Isn't that the one you put the noise trap on?
I put it on this one.
Is that right, Brandon?
Whenever I was doing it, I was placing it on the center one,
Yeah,
the more towards, yeah.
That's what I thought. That's what's on this
Oh,
one.
so we left this one wide open.
Yeah, that one. It's not trapped. I assumed you closed it, but it wasn't trapped.
Let's see here.
You fortunately have your full arsenal.
Yeah. And I think immobilizing it may be our best bet. That does it look like that could be made of all the missing armor that we were looking at?
It does. It does indeed. It appears to be made of the same armor that you've been seeing. Seems like it's a very fine set of it.
Isn't that fabulous? Let's fill the hallway from where I'm at all the way out to the critter.
Okay. Show me where you're gonna put the web at.
From in front of me all the way down the hall to and including the critter
Okay. Let's see.
at the farthest extent.
What's the range on that? Or the area of effect? I'm sorry.
It's several multiples of 20 by 20.
Okay. So you want to stick it all the way to where it's affecting him?
Yes. Want to make sure he is in the area affected.
Let me just double check the wording.
Let's
just make
see.
sure I'm not forgetting anything.
I get 8 10 by 10 foot cubes.
Okay, so that would be more than what you would need. I'll just fill that whole area. And
Yeah.
then anyone in the area, this is the part I was looking for. When the spell is cast, must roll a savings throw versus spell with a -2 penalty. If successful, creature has room to escape, or if there's no room to escape, then the webs are only half strength. Okay. And okay, so he'll roll a savings throw. We'll see if he's affected by that. If he's able to sidestep it so that he's not currently caught in it. Let's see. Yeah, so he doesn't seem to be caught in it, but you have filled this hall with your web. So he's just on the edge of your web from what you were able to cast. He's not restricted in movement right now, but he certainly won't be able to move forward freely. Okay? All right?
Theoretically.
Yeah. That brings up Griff. So you saw Molly run by and try to tackle this thing, and then you see the hall fill with some web. that Kurz is doing.
I'm gonna attack. Can I attack past her?
Yeah, you'll have to vacate the space after your attack, but that's fine.
Hand axe first. Short sword.
There you go. That would be a hit.
And it actually hits.
Let's see. Actually, let me just double check. Just double checking.
I'm thinking it's another critter that got created,
Yeah, it's a hit.
or it's undead.
That's a hit.
All right. Is it small or
Medium.
or large?
It's medium. All right.
Okay. And short sword.
Oh, okay. So it's.
Should include all my bonuses.
Oops, okay. Okay. Yes. You smash this thing with your hand axe, and it definitely seems to take some effect from your hit as your hand axe makes contact and it reacts to that. Definitely. Then you could step back and let's see. I think.
Does my sword hit?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, your sword hit
AC2.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
AC2 is what you need.
Shh.
There you go. Rolling good on damage.
Ooh.
So you definitely put a couple marks on this thing with that round. That was great. It looks like it's definitely taken some damage from that.
And I step back. Okay.
All right, and then I think we're to the next round here. Resort this. We'll start then with those of you who are out of combat last round. It would be Saharn first. You would hear this, and obviously you heard Kurz's warning that it's on. I don't know that he's made it clear that he has a web in the hall yet, but once you open that door, Saharn, you would see that. When you open the door in front of you, you would see Kurz's web extending through your area there.
You would set off my trap.
Yeah, so you would hear the sound of the metal falling as it hits the ground and makes a racket, which there's already a pretty loud racket in the hallway right now with metal on metal and metal on stone.
Can I see the creature and my companions?
Let's see, what's visibility? Is it affected much through this? Probably not. I would think you could see it.
Believe
Absolutely.
so.
You could see it. At least the outline of it, you would recognize that it's not one of your party members.
If it's a setting thing or not, I cannot see them where they are. In other words, I do not see the creature token. But
Yeah. The way to play it is that you'd have to stick your head out of the door. So on the map, you're not going to see stuff that your token wouldn't. But in play, you would certainly be able to stick your head out into the web a little bit and look.
The creature.
Yeah, this is the creature here. And then Molly and Griff are standing behind them. Yep, it's the red right here. And the web is the gray. Oops. There we go.
I move through the web.
You want to try to move through the web? Was that what you said?
Yeah.
What is that? Let's see.
I put the word or 10 foot on the map.
So it says that creatures with strength of 13 or greater can break through 1 foot of webs per round.
I cannot budge this.
So unfortunately, it would be otherwise, I think, a little too tough to break.
All right, if I still have clients in my round, I have a 2-segment ground cast, 2-segment cast.
I missed what the spell was. I heard you wanted to cast though. What was the spell?
Done. Yeah.
Did anyone else hear it?
No.
I'm sorry. It's just like
Maybe type
Type
it.
it.
What weapon is he wielding? I'm just trying to plan ahead.
he has a 2-handed sword. Great
Okay.
sword. All right. So he's casting. I think he said it's a 2-turn cast. We'll get what it is here in a second. All right. So I need to look up something real quick. I was doing that anyway.
Dust Devil.
All right. So yeah. So he's actually going later in the round.
Where is our friendly neighborhood mage in this round of stuff?
Yeah, I need to add.
Renwick too.
Yeah, I need to add them in. All right. Okay, I'm adding them in now, so can be a part of this fun. All right. Let me resort this real fast. So Seharn will move out of, or not Seharn, excuse me. Baden is going to move out and follow Kurza's steps and stand here at the end of the hall. Let's see, because I think because of the limited visibility here coming from the end of the hall, he'd have some difficulty targeting it. But so he'll consider his options here. For now, he's just assessing. Seharn is gone. I think we're at Nod. So Nod, you hear?
They definitely impedes ranged weapons, but it doesn't seem to say anything about visibility.
There's the fact that he's a human, actually. That's also
Oh
a
well,
problem for him.
there is that.
Nod, you can actually move 10 feet per round through the web because of your strength. You're actually able to move much further than others, so you can reach it because you only have to move through just a little bit. You don't have to spend your full round moving through it, but you do have to chop your way a little bit and then bushwhack or web whack, if you will, to reach him. But you could get there in one round and still get an attack off.
Yes, I will do exactly that. And I'm
Is it
making my way to the
Is it
last little-
facing us?
It hasn't gone yet again. It's still facing
Okay.
Nod.
Okay.
Wow, there you go. That's a hit. There you go. Good hit. All right. So you're able to slash this thing with your longsword and surround it now. You've also blown through the web here, so we're going to shorten the area of effect here so it's behind you a little bit. And that brings up a Mithra.
Okay, I didn't do much worse than last time. So he's still facing that way, and is the web gone? No, the web is still there.
The web is
Now.
been chopped up from Nod coming through. Some of it is chopped up, so it's no longer on the other side of him. Instead, Nod is there.
Okay. Yeah, initially I thought I would try and disarm him, but I can't disarm him. So I'm just gonna...
You gonna pick up your weapon, or you got another weapon?
Yes.
You're gonna. Okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I was gonna pick up, and I should ask about that. Can I do that as a free action? Like drawing it? I don't.
I think picking up the weapon.
Or is it far away?
It really. I think, what did it say? I don't think it could have gone very far, but let's see.
Said it dropped at her feet if she had a weapon out, but
Yeah.
if she's unarmed,
So you could.
if the
Right.
attacker was unarmed, instead suffers a +1 to AC and a -1 to.
Yeah, you
rolls.
can pick it up. It's at your feet. So basically, you'd be trading your movement this turn for picking it up, and you could still get an attack.
Okay.
Fortunately, that one won't hit.
Right.
Okay. All right.
That's all I got.
So that brings up Kurza again. What'd you like to do?
Let's see. Let's go. I don't know if I can. How far around do I want to get? So I think I want to be behind Griff. And I don't know.
Running laps around the outside of the tower.
Yeah, is that what you're gonna try to do? Is move?
Yeah, let's see. Is it dismissible? Negate. Yeah.
You could spend your whole turn going over there.
Yeah, why don't I do that? That's fair. I'll put myself somewhere under the there we are. Oh,
Okay. Yeah, so you pass by Renwick right as he was thinking about coming forward to attack. I think he's going to move up here. And I think at this point, it might be pretty difficult for him to get into the hallway. He will have his sword drawn And let's see, what else can he do? You know what? I think he's gonna reverse what you did. I think he's gonna go around.
I'm gonna say you guys running past
he's
each
going
other.
the other way. Yeah, he's gonna run around to where Baden was on the other side of this web, and so that would bring up Griff. You're still able to get in and out because you've only got one body in front of you.
All right. Walk in.
Oh, nice. Okay. It's a big
Right.
shot.
Short sword.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Wow.
Do I just roll the crit next to it, or do I roll on the?
I think it's more fun to roll the table, but whatever you prefer.
Or is it?
It's on the macros at the very bottom. Under rollable tables, there's crit hit under there.
How do I get to the?
Oh, it's next to the settings icon on the upper right. It's called collection.
Under macros.
Under rollable tables at the bottom. There should be one that says roll. Okay. Regardless, I was hoping for a better outcome. You have actually killed this thing, and as you do it, the being seems to fall into pieces onto the floor, and you look around at it and you just see this, you just see the armor. You don't see any creature within it.
No more glowing eyes.
No more glowing eyes.
Construct.
So
Did anyone get hurt?
nobody got hurt, I don't think. Nobody got
Good.
hurt, actually.
It's the
There's
armor.
pride.
The armor
Pride.
it is wearing is plate mail, and it is very fine looking plate mail. It is carrying a two-handed sword, very large weapon. And other than that, it, like I said, it just appeared to be this construct of this suit of armor that was animated and walking the hall. And now
Can I use a spellcraft to determine what kind of a spell created it?
Sure. Looking, I'm assuming you're dismissing your web. You believe that, and I think Baden would confirm that you both think it's actually a Helmed Horror.
A Helmed Horror. Oh my. That doesn't sound good. Never heard of that, but
And it's definitely a construct that would be serving as a guardian. Beyond that, you know that they levitate rather than walk. They don't have a normal way that they walk. They almost glide on the ground a little bit and drag their feet. They are fearless as in terms of morale. There's really nothing mind-wise that you can do to enchant them otherwise, or charm them, or affect them with an illusion. And I think, interestingly, the construct would have some type of, as far as he would have some instructions on what he's supposed to do. And so you're estimating that it was, charged with patrolling the tower just like the others would have been. And for some reason it's been stirred up to patrol the tower. So that's about all that you're aware of at this point.
Will its master know?
maybe when it doesn't return would be my guess. If its master is still present.
Yeah, you don't think that it has a direct relationship with its master necessarily, as far as it knowing that the horror was killed or something like that. You don't believe that it would be bound or anything like that, where it would automatically know that this were. But that's just speculation on Baden and Kurza's part, being the two arcane users.
That's probably why it had to have such nice plate mail too, to place the spell upon it. Very interesting. Our mage has created many horrors to
We drag all this stuff back into our little camp area and
Sure.
kind of reset up camp and
Yeah, and finish your watch for the evening. Oops.
Yeah.
Let me move you guys, or if you want to go ahead and move yourselves back in, I'll move the corpse, or I should say the suit of armor and the weapon in there with you. To clear the hallway, we'll move Baden and Renwick in there. So you're back in place. If for anyone who was missing their full night's rest, you can go ahead and complete that now. And
Close the doors.
yeah, you guys can close up.
Yeah.
And I think anyone who's already got their full rest can remain awake for this last hour or two here. And the first hour after this happens goes by uneventfully, and then during the last hour, you hear a sound again, this time a familiar sound that you haven't heard in a while. The sound of this sort of humming, music-like tone coming from within the tower begins again. You start to hear it. It's as if it's like a hum and a vibration of sound that it's almost like a white noise after a while once it's playing. But it picks up, and I think all of you would notice that. Everybody would hear that, obviously, and look at one another. Okay, we're back to this again.
If I take off my helmet and cover my ears with my hands, do I still?
It would dampen the sound. It would dampen the sound like you would expect. It's not
Like
like
you'd expect,
ringing in your head. Yeah, it's not ringing in your head.
That's what I was wondering.
It seems like dimensionally like it's coming from somewhere in the tower. So it's that would be full night's rest then for everybody. So you can go ahead and give yourselves your con modifier, or if you don't have one, you get +1. And anyone who needed to replenish spells would be fully stocked again, just minus Kurza's web.
Right.
when you say con modifier, is that for hit points?
Yeah, your hit point modifier for con, you can take overnight, or if you don't have one, you would take +1.
So if you have +1,
You take 1 regardless, and then you take, in addition to that, whatever your con modifier is.
oh cool, so I get 2.
In addition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get,
Where are you at right now?
I'm at 28 out of 39.
Did you take the potion I offered?
No,
Because I don't think
I have 1 healing potion.
I'm at 30 of 32.
If you're worried about your HP, probably the next session, go upstairs. Take my second potion. Fill yourself up right now.
What
Why don't you
upstairs?
just, before we go upstairs, should be maxed out, is what he was saying. I think. I'm down 11 for my max. Why don't you just cast one heal on me? Get an 8.
Cast the 1 heal before he finishes his rest.
I'm not sure how it's being able. But that's why
think
we're
we've-
not.
I
We're
mean,
only ready for a couple hours, you know.
yeah, I mean, I think normally, like, if you were gonna burn, I don't know, it just seems odd that you would
Yeah.
retroactively cast it when you had the chance to cast it before and you didn't for whatever reason. I would just think that now we're in the morning and you would use your regular spell pool.
Let's burn one off my skill.
All right.
Maybe you should be rolling the 8-sideds, Tim.
Yeah, maybe you
Seem to
should.
have those figured out.
Yeah, Tim is on fire
He is on
tonight.
fire with 8-sided.
And 20 sided.
And the 20s, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I think you're...
I'm good. 30.
Decent.
I'm 30 at 39.
Yep. So everybody's up, and I think raring to go in terms of further exploration. Is that the case?
Yes,
All right.
I'm ready.
All right. What's the continued order? Is it sticking Renwick up in the front still, and who's following him if that's the case? Let me line you all up in the hallway, if you will. I'll put Renwick out in the hallway, and if you line up behind him, you're going south, so
Figure
he'll be
out
in
how
the
to
front.
get out the doors. Yeah.
I'll put Baden towards the back. He prefers to be.
All right. I can follow him, and then I think you were behind me, right?
Okay.
Yep, that sounds right.
And then Nod was bringing up the rear. Perza and Baden were in the middle. Sehorn, I think you were second to last, or were you behind Amithra?
Be second to last.
I think you were behind Amithra, so you could get heals off if you needed to. But
Does this look right, or you want to change it?
Sounds good to me.
I'm good with it.
You're good?
Yeah,
Okay.
looks good.
All right. Okay. You continue in this direction towards the staircase then in the morning. And again, I think as you get to the stairwell and you look out, you would observe this shipwreck hole in the ground that you saw yesterday briefly. And again, you'd maybe take a second closer look at this as you're walking up the steps with a really close view. And I think maybe your mask isn't working or something today, Nod, but you would see this again, and I think you would see Renwick and Nod looking away from it, almost like they don't want anything to do with it, as they ascend the steps, and you all head up. Let me close this turn order to the next level. Let me paste you in here and arrange this before I move you all.
The next level, we will have a glorious TPK.
All right, so I'm loading this up. You guys should start to see it filling in. I've got the order messed up, but at least your tokens are in here for now. I'll fix that as we move along. So you reach the top of the staircase, and the hole that was in the side of the tower starts to get smaller. You're passing the upper edge of it at this point, and you land at this top spot. You can still see out. It's just a much smaller opening from up here. It appears that the puncture, the damage that was done, ends on this level, and you're standing in this circular corridor together. You take a moment, I think, to just assess it. You can tell that the outer ring is similar to the last floor where you had that drainage area, and then what I think you would notice is different about this level is that this is the level where there are some flared out sides to it, and you can wander around, I guess, on this outside corridor a little bit. You currently don't hear anything or see anything beyond what's here on the map at the moment. So,
Still the music? Yeah.
what's that?
You still hear the music?
You do hear the music. You do
Does
hear
it
the
get
music.
louder?
It's a tad louder. Yes.
Okay.
Good question. Yep, it's a tad louder, but it's almost like a melancholy kind of sound. That's how I would describe it. Like a humming more than anything would be the way to describe it. Any thoughts or final actions that y'all want to take as we wind down the session a little bit here?
It's the green stuff. Anything important that we should know?
Actually, if you take a look at that, it seems like it's some kind of mossy covering that's throughout this immediate area. The landing at the top of the steps has this really thin layer of a moss-like substance. If someone wants to take a look at it closer, could do that.
Sure. Sehorn, you want to do an herbalism check?
And Griff, if you want, you could do a tracking check here also.
Okay.
Because you notice some tracks in the moss. Since you're towards the front, you would know those are not tracks that would have been left by Renwick.
Mic off.
How about our friend with the dragging foot?
Mic on.
Let's see what we come up with. Yeah, so first we'll have Sehorn looking at the moss, and it's actually sort of a seaweed moss that you recognize Seharn, and you know that it's a harmless underwater seaweed for the most part. And so I think you're thinking at this point that its growth must have been created and supported by this hole in the side of the tower for some reason, has brought in moisture and contaminated this area, if you will, with the sea moss. What you would know about it beyond that is that it does have some benefits. Need to double check what they are real quick, but oh, there we go. It's number one, you know that it is used commonly to heal seasickness, and it, you believe, also has a secondary effect where it would allow you to hold your breath for longer than normal if you imbibed it.
Think we should collect some of that for everybody, as much as we can get.
So you can scrape up enough to probably give what Seharn would advise as a... Actually, I'm going to have you roll for this.
A dose?
I'm going to have you roll for this. So let's have... I think Seharn, since you're the one that's most familiar, will have you roll a... I'll let you decide how you want to do it, but do a wisdom check first, and then I'll give you a number to roll for how many doses you can get out of this. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to give you the max attempt here. So it'll be 3d4. If you roll 3d4, that's how many doses of this you'll be able to get collected. 7, nice roll. Yeah, pretty good. So yeah, you all have 7 doses of this Raskin sea moss. Again, it helps with seasickness, and it also allows the imbiber to apparently maybe have up to 50% longer. That's like in this immediate area. Like once you get beyond, and Renwick would be maybe just
What
heading.
tracks did I see?
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about is, where's Griff at? Do I not have your token up here?
No, I'm right there in the middle, right by the steps.
Okay. Yeah, Kurza was...
I'm on top,
Kurza and you were closer. I'm gonna move you over here.
blocking his view.
I'm gonna reorder this based on what you had downstairs. I got it jumbled a little bit. Okay, I think it's something like this. Okay. Yes, the tracks that Griff that you notice, one, definitely you see a series of tracks that appear to be, that you would equate to the Helmed Horror that you met. It's the gate and the dragging seems obvious that it's taking a path where you see it has come by enough that it's created a trail that's distinct. But even on top of those tracks, you notice another set of footprints. And that footprint does not appear to be one from your party that matches anybody. It appears to be of a medium-sized humanoid, you would expect, because it's a full footprint. And the print itself doesn't appear to be to look like or match the type of footwear that the elves have been wearing. So it seems like it's made from an actual boot. So you'd be able to determine that there's some other set of tracks that one individual seems to have made on top of these others. And you don't think it's that long ago that these prints occurred. Days, in the last 2 days possibly, that this particular set of prints. The other prints, from what you could tell from the Helmed Horrors, seems like they're spaced out, that there's like new growth of moss on top of where it is going by maybe every couple days. You're guessing? It's not probably even coming by and using this path daily, so it's something more than that. But yeah, I think that's where we can probably end up, unless you guys want to talk a
Share
little
all
bit
that
about
information. Yeah.
if you want to talk about what you're thoughts are on approaching this level a little bit, we could do that. And
Wait,
then
which way are the footprints going? Like into this level or like towards the open
they go this
door?
direction. Great question.
I gotcha.
They get to the top of the steps and they turn and come this way. Yep. Yeah.
I guess we'll end
Mic
up
off.
going counterclockwise then.
All right. Then that's where we'll pick up next time. Is we'll have you guys going counterclockwise, investigating this floor to see what you can find.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. Great game. Are we playing next week?
Yeah, I will shoot for next week. We'll just keep it weekly for now, until that for some reason doesn't work. But I don't have any problem with next week, so the schedule should update after this session, and just mark yourself in if you can make it. I think Adam said he is looking more likely for next week, so that would be nice to have him back in the
Cool.
mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thanks so much. It was fun. Good session. Good
Yeah.
teamwork.
Good one.
Nobody died. No, actually, nobody even really got scraped much.
No,
So,
I can get hit.
relatively
You're-
unscathed.
We were
compared-
cautious.
That's true.
Cautious.
That's
Yeah.
true. But all right,
The
guys.
traps and. Good night.
Thanks so much. Take care.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Night.
We'll see y'all.
Good night, all.